In a game where the Steelers tried harder to not give Myles Garrett the sack record more than they were trying to win, the Browns completely ruined the Steelers' playoffs. So let's see what they have to say with Myles Garrett and Kevin Stefanski.
Prevent them from clinching and to close out the season like that at home against you.
Feels great. You know, they're our rival. You always want to beat them. Doesn't matter the circumstances. And we line up. We want to beat those guys, and so I'm glad to have opportunity to do it and get the job done.
Did it feel like you came close a couple times to that record?
For sure. But, I mean, they kind of fell under the same line of thinking that the Packers did. You know, we'll just throw everything at them and see if we can muster effort to win without it.
How much do you feel, Myles, that your presence like intimidated them to throw as quickly as they did?
Quick? I mean, that's their MO, but of course they're going to throw even quicker when I'm lined up on that side. You know, they had a chipper there, sometimes two chippers, and getting it out quick. Sometimes they were rolling away. They're doing a little bit of everything, and I kind of come to expect that. I know they didn't want me to be the one to break it against them.
I know you talked about playing hard to the end and all that, but what does it say about this team to do that in week 17 against a team trying to get to the playoffs?
Shows heart, man. Shows grit. I'm proud of those guys in there. You know, it's not easy, getting up out of bed and doing what you're supposed to do. Taking care of business, preparing. The way you did at the beginning of the season, knowing that the end is in sight. But that's how you're measured as a man, as a football player. Know what you do when your back's against the wall or the writing's against the wall. So those guys had a choice, and we made the choice to come out there and get the job done, get a win.
How nice was it to see Denzel just close out that game there in the end? You guys have been together so long, and I mean, just how good did that feel to see him be able to do that?
Yeah. I mean, he's a foundational piece for a reason. The guy's special. Anytime he's on the field, he's a game changer. He's a playmaker. So I'm not surprised that he was the one that came up with the big play to win it for us.
Myles, on the other side, Tyson, his first game was like against these guys like 3 days after and just the way he is sort of settled in and made. I mean, I thought tonight multiple plays, the winning plays, the breakup passes. Just what has he met on the other side of that secondary?
I mean, the secondary was crucial today in general. They're trying to get it out quick. We got to be sticking in coverage. We got to be on them quick, and got to use those 5 yards to hold them up and try at least give ourselves time to get to the rush. But if not, you got to be there when the ball's out. And I mean, they were everywhere. They were making plays across the field. I mean, DB punched out the ball. There were multiple forced fumbles from the line behind us. So those guys were just intent on coming out of here with a win, and that's the kind of attitude we want for the rest of the season.
How much do you guys also love to go out there and lay it on the line and fight so hard for Kevin Stefanski as your head coach?
I mean, we fight for each other. I mean, that's everybody. I mean, I don't think they're fighting so hard because of me. I don't think they're fighting so hard because of Kevin. We fight because we have each other. This is a brotherhood. You don't get a second chance at this. So you want to make the most of it every time you step on the field. And you know what the guy next to you has put into it. What this means to him. And you don't want to take this for granted. 1 second.
Alex was saying that he doesn't give a crap about draft picks, and I know there's fan sentiment that's all there's left for you guys. What context do people miss when they say that the Browns are just playing for the draft picks?
No one signed to lose. No one signed up to lose at all. So I don't care what the situation is with the record. Not a single one of us want to line up and lay down to a team or a man that's in front of us. We got put here in this place, or selected, whatever it was, drafted to come here and win. Has it always been that way? No. But I'll be damned if I'm just going to go out there and lay down to another team just because we want some more draft picks. That's just not me.
Happy early birthday, Myles.
Thank you.
On that last drive with the Steelers and Aaron Rodgers, what were your thoughts as he was moving the ball down the field and you guys were finally able to make that stand?
It's not going to be us. I've seen it 1,000 times with this guy. I mean, he's incredible at making it happen, but it's not going to be us. Just got to make one play. And stack those and one play at a time, get to fourth down, and what happens, happens. But can't let it be us. We can't be in his Hall of Fame room.
Still as confident as ever that you get the record next week?
Absolutely. Why shouldn't I be?
One game fewer.
4 more quarters, 60 more minutes, however you want to draw it up, it'll get done.
Seemed like a couple of times there. You were bearing down, and it was just like almost like you take the football. I mean, on a couple of those plays, the way he was, just throwing it out there to Warren or Gainwell or something like that.
It was a little ridiculous. There were a few times, like we were talking about in the live stream, like I'm talking about, like throwing behind, like what in the world? Like I didn't even know this dude was a receiver. I'm almost sure some of those were penalties, but hey, he just got the ball out.
Talking about just the way, even more so than usual, getting rid of the ball quick.
Yeah, I mean, to an extent, I feel like they were more worried about keeping me away from Aaron than getting the win. And I think that's what came back to bite him. So.
Hey man, that's how you really drag your nuts across a team, dog. Yeah, man, y'all was too busy trying to stop me. Kevin Stefanski, we're gonna hear just a little bit of you. How did you feel about the situation?
Get to even that season series versus a division rival. Get to do it in front of our fans. So I'm just extremely grateful for that group in there. How hard they play for 60 minutes. That's what they do at practice. Shows up in games. So plenty to clean up like there always is. But to beat a good football team, it says a lot about that locker room. So I'm proud of those guys. But with that, I'll take any questions.
What can you say about would it have been so much nicer, obviously, for Myles to be able to get the sack record at home today?
He's celebrating in there. So he likes to win.
What do you think his presence, how did that affect the way Aaron Rodgers played today?
Yeah, I think Myles affects every single game, Jeff. Obviously, he shows up in the stat sheet in a bunch of different areas, but even the things you don't see, how they have to play the game. I mean, they have to play an empty the entire game and chip both sides. Those are two eligibles, that aren't getting out in the route immediately. So it affects how teams play us.
Kevin, you talked about the effort and the way these guys are playing. The way this season has gone, it would have been easy for a lot of people would see to kind of pack things up. What is it about this group that they don't seem to?
Yeah, I know this group too well. I know how important this game is to them, how important it is to me. We only know one way.
What can you say about Denzel there at the end? I'm not sure Rodgers targeted him all game and then still looking after him.
He played really well. He's a great player. Great to have him back out there. That's a lot of time there for a Hall of Famer. So we knew they were going to make their plays, but our guys made one more than they did.
I hate to cut Kevin Stefanski off, but if we could, I love Denzel Ward. I want to show you this. This is Denzel Ward, feeling fresh and cozy after the big dub.
Against you, like I said, I'm always just prepared and ready for moments like that. But I just try to make it hard on teams every time they decide to look at the scouting report and see who they're going to attack and make it hard on them when they come my way. And like I said, I don't know whose bright idea it was to try me for the game for 3 plays in a row, but he was able to come through and get the win.
Hey, man. He said, I don't know who told y'all about me, but they was clearly lying. I'm that dude. Oh, my God. Y'all trying me? Y'all gonna try me? Y'all don't like winning, clearly.
What can you say just in general about this defensive effort to hold them down and hold Aaron Rodgers down the way they did?
Yeah, outstanding. And a bunch of individual efforts. Obviously, Myles getting all the attention he got. I thought Tyson was outstanding. I thought Carson battled and fought like he always does and ends up tackling the guy to the ground. Just a bunch of individual efforts, and just that was what was required today.
Talk about individual efforts. The special teams have been sort of maligned all season, but when you needed the field flipped, how big was that punt that Corey got off?
That was huge. Dre coming through on his field goal attempts. Corey, when we needed him, doing a great job playing that field position game. I thought the guys did a great job.
How about Shador? How do you wrap up Shador's performance today?
Yeah, obviously he wins. Got to win, so that's great for the young man. Gets to beat Pittsburgh, gets to beat a division rival. So they're not going to be easy, not in this division. So proud of him for that. There's always things he can clean up. I thought we got a little unlucky on that first interception. We can certainly learn from the second one, and he will. But yeah, he continued to battle.
What do you think changed that? Because it seemed like Shador was really in control until, he got hit on that first interception. It wasn't really his fault. But after that, just some mistakes maybe we would have liked to have back. What do you think maybe changed?
I don't think anything changed, Daniel. I think it's a good defense. We made a few plays early. We'll look at the ways that we can make a few plays later, too.
So I think that's Kevin Stefanski, I think, gave a good little response there. Obviously Shador 2 interceptions. Clearly, I mean, we couldn't all see that one of those was not his fault. But the other one, hey, that's a we gotta clean that up type decision. But decent words there, great words from Myles Garrett. Again, don't try Denzel Ward. I wouldn't recommend trying the Warden. But good win. I mean, this might not for me and the Shadorians, you feel me? I ride hard for Shador. That's my guy. This is not like a super crazy. We can put a flag in it, but we can say he made some good things happen. But what I was gonna say is, if you're a Browns fan, you have to also be mad because it locked y'all out of the top 2 pick. But anyway, but no, man, y'all gotta enjoy a win, right? Enjoy a win at home. I do think that for morale reasons, you have to get a win at some point there to close it out. Obviously, the Ravens are very happy. So just an interesting situation all around with this Browns and Steelers game. So, I already told the second channel, but y'all know I'm about to take a break. I might have some evergreens here and there for y'all. But other than that, man, y'all be absolutely beautiful. Be blessed. We'll see you next time. Peace.